Hey guys, welcome to your ballet booty workout. You don't need any equipment for today's class. We are going to be focusing on increasing our balance, our flexibility, and our turnout with all of our moves today that are going to target those glutes. So let's get right into it. Come and meet me on the mat. I want you to start in a second position. If you're not familiar with ballet, no worries. I will walk you through it all. So second position, the feet are about 2-3 feet apart. Toes are turned out, and maybe if you have a bigger rotation, bigger external rotation, your toes will point to the sides. If you're not as flexible there in your hip joints, that's okay. They can point to the front diagonals. Hands onto the hips, open the chest up. We're gonna come down nice and low. Make sure those knees don't cave in, but rather they go over the center of the foot and the outer edge of the foot stays down. Tailbone to the floor, chest is upright, and then you're gonna squeeze up through your glutes as we come to standing. So this is the position of our second position plie. You wanna make sure your spine is staying tall. We're using a lot of work for our posture, a lot of work in our spine here. So you're gonna inhale, take it down, and exhale, draw it up. And this is just gonna be our warm up right here. So we're down, we're up. Make sure those knees are tracking over the center of the foot. And to increase that flexibility in our hips, the knees are pressing back in space. Good, those outer thighs are moving to the back wall. Inner thighs are rolling up towards the ceiling. Good, we're here for 8, right here for 8. Good, and 7. We're gonna take this and just add on to it with arabesques, alternating side to side. 3 more, we have 3. And 2. Last one. Okay, we're gonna turn onto the right diagonal, undo your back leg. First arabesque, bring it back to second position, drop it nice and low. Good, and then left diagonal, first arabesque. Option if you wanna float that back leg, if you're a little bit more advanced and you wanna work into the balance. Now that back leg, whether it's lifted or on the floor, I want your kneecap to face away from you. That's gonna mean we're using our external rotation, our turnout. If the kneecap points to the floor, then we're losing the turnout. We're in a parallel position. Every time through center, make sure you come down nice and low. When that leg lifts up or extends behind you, I want you to think length. Squeeze your glute and keep your torso nice and tall. Nice job, guys. Let's go 5 more for 5. And 4. Heels should always stay down in our plies. And 3. 2 more for 2. Good, last one here for 1. Good, find your second position, drop it low. We're gonna take it over to our first arabesque on the right. Our back leg's going to lift and lower. We're turned out. That means the inside of the ankle faces the floor. As I do a big lift of my leg, it's not a kick, so it should definitely not send your upper body forward. Yeah, there's a lot of stability in this upper body, kind of like we're balancing a cup of tea on the top of our head. There's a strong engagement of that left glute at the top of the lift, right here. I'm feeling that outer hip engage. Good, and finding those long limbs, not just in our legs, but also in our arms. So reach through those fingertips, draw your belly in, feel just a general sense of lifting up, working that posture. Now more advanced, I want you to keep your leg off the ground. So I'm just gonna hover it 1 inch off the ground so that now I'm challenging my balance a little bit more. Good, give me 8 more. We're here, 8 and 7. For 6, keep on turning the hip out while staying tall in the torso. 4 more, 4 and 3. Can you lift up an inch taller for 2? You're just gonna hold your leg up. Find your first arabesque, pull up through your chest. Try not to lean forward to get the leg higher. Use the strength of that leg to lift it up. We're here for 15 seconds. Go forward with your fingertips, back with your toes, and up with the crown of the head for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plie through center, wide second. we take this over on the left diagonal. Rotate that right knee, extend through your fingertips. That right leg lifts and lowers. Okay, so our supporting leg got a lot of work on the last side. Sometimes it's kind of confusing. You would think just the moving leg gets the work, but fortunately for us, both legs in this exercise will be working, and it will be working the glutes, which is what we showed up for today. Good, big lift, breathe out, breathe in. Try not to crunch your low back, so we're not sending our chest forward and throwing ourselves into a back bend. We lift, we lower. I'm continuously trying to turn my inner thigh towards the floor to deepen my external rotation. I'm drawing my knee cap up, which is creating more length in my body. Opposition, toes reach out, front of the thigh pulls up. Now let's add that hover. So I'm not gonna touch the floor anymore. That immediately adds more weight to my standing leg the whole time, and I'm immediately feeling more work, which is what I want. Good, we're here for 8 and 7, for 6 and 5, pull up, go an inch taller, for 4 and 3. We're gonna come into that tall hold, into big rotation of that right knee, ankle down, lift up, and lengthen, stretch. Don't worry about height. Worry about engagement and where you're feeling it. Rotation, balance, stretch, turn out. Beautiful job, guys. We're gonna go for 15 more seconds. Don't let your leg or your arms drop. Give me your A+ effort right here before we take it back to center in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Meet me in a first. Heels together, toes and knees apart, arms come to first, elbows up. We're gonna just take it to plies. Squeeze up through your inner thighs. I want you to focus on inner thighs for this exercise. So we want the tailbone dropping down, crown of the head going up. In ballet, we have a little less than the natural curve in that low back. So I'll show you here. Instead of having a nice little normal lumbar spine curve, we're sending the buttocks down to the floor. So we created more length through that low back and a taller posture. Okay, 4 more for 4. And for 3. We're going back to our right arabesque in 2. And 1. Good, take it to the right. Right arm forward, left arm out to the side. Wrap that right knee, that left knee, open it up without opening the hips up too much. We're gonna take this up. Now we're gonna stay lifted. Of course, use a bar or a chair if you need support for that balance. So we're gonna bring this to passe. Left leg comes to passe. Now notice my knee is still turned out. As I send the leg back, I'm sending the leg back not from my ankle or my foot, but from the thigh. So the whole leg moves back. My knee still points to the side, not to the floor. Now the reason I'm very specific about this is because it's going to change where you feel this exercise if you don't hang on to that turnout. So really continue to push your knee back. Inner thigh faces the ground, kneecap faces that side wall. On the stretch, hold, squeeze, lift, reach through those toes. That's where you're gonna fire out that muscle. Beautiful. Reach and lift and engage. Good, couple more right here. Let those shoulders drop down. Pull that belly up. Oh yeah, I'm feeling my glute med, the side of the hip. That is going to help us in our external rotation. Good, couple more right here for 4. Try not to let that knee drop towards the ground. And 3. Good, long pause on the extension. Feel the muscles in the legs engage. For 2. 1 more. For 1, reach, stretch, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First position, arms to first as well. Give me 5 plies to reset. Find that inner thigh work. Hips, outer hips roll back, inner thighs rolling forward. 3 more. We're gonna take our passe arabesque over to the left in 2 and 1. Okay, turn left, stretch your arms long, rotate that right knee out, lift it up. We go passe, toe to knee, inner thigh forward. Now send the whole leg back as you extend. Let me just demonstrate real quick what not to do. Would be to lead with the foot, let the leg drop and the knee point down, then reach out. It's gonna hit more of your hamstring, less of these glute muscles we're going for. Good, passe. When you're in your passe, push the inside of your heel forward. That's gonna help us find the turnout all the way from the hip, the knee, to the toes. Remember, turnout is not from your feet. It's from the top of the leg bone going down. The whole entire thigh bone is helping us externally rotate. Pull up tall through center, reach back, pause, squeeze, lengthen. This is where I'm holding on to that contraction for a moment before I bring myself back into my passe. Good, reach back and stretch. And passe, pull it in. How is that standing leg feeling? It's starting to really feel the work, huh? Good, I need a couple more here. Last 4, we're here for 4. Getting the shakes, I like it. Don't rush it, so I want you to move slow-mo. It'll be way harder, that's what we want. For 3. Good, tall through that torso. Final 2, when I send my leg back, I keep my chest tall. Good, 1 more. We're extending fingertips and all the way through the toes. Hold the leg up high, we're here, 8. Roll the inner thigh to the floor. Lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, first position, we're gonna go releves to reset. So find your turnout, lift tall through your spine, arms are first as well. As you lift up, make sure every toe stays down. Now if you have more challenge with balance, hold on to a chair or the wall. Every toe staying down, specifically shifting more weight, big toe and big toe mound. So a lot of times I see something like this, rolling out and losing the feeling of the whole ball of the foot into the floor. So that's what I want you to practice here. Toes into the mat. Pull up through your center. Good, we're here for 8. 7. Good, push the floor down to lift up. 5 more, squeeze your calves. 5, 4, 3, remember tailbone is lengthening to the heels. 2, last one for 1. Okay, heels float down. We're gonna rotate to the left. This time we're coming into a flat back position. My left leg, or both of my legs are really, we're staying turned out, okay? So I'm gonna hinge forward, coming into a flat back position. I have a demi-plie in my right knee, hands to my hips, turn the left knee out. We are in an attitude, so the leg is at a 3/4 bend. Just like the passe, don't let your knee point to the floor. We're gonna lift the leg up, hips face the ground, and then lower the leg down. Okay, I'm trying to go for length in my spine, so I don't want you to round your shoulders or try to get so low that it becomes a huge hamstring stretch. So if this goes into your low back too much, you'll come up just a little higher for me. If you're stronger, you're gonna go lower. That's just going to make this more challenging. Now, send the inside of your left ankle to the ground. Point your left knee to the left wall. And keep a demi-plie in the standing leg. This is going to give us work in both legs. Option to hover the foot and not touch down. Good, squeeze and pause at the top. Beautiful job right there. Yeah, hold on to it. That's where that leg gets a lot of the fire. Attitude lift. We're here 8. We're here 7. Woo, fired up at the top. We're here 6. So we're thinking of that good turnout that we practiced pretty much thus far. Good, 4 more. Navel in, rib cage closed. 4. And 3. Gorgeous. 2 more. And 2. And last one. And 1. Float the leg down, come back to your first in the center. Bring it back to those releves. Arms first, feet first. Heels up, heels down. Good. Bring your chest forward and up. Bring the weight onto the ball of the feet. Good, little reset before we try side 2 with those attitudes. You guys feeling your glutes? I certainly am. And I'm really starting to feel my calves as well. That last exercise would be like a ballet deadlift, if you will. Okay, we're here for 4. We're here for 3. We're gonna take it to the left in 2. Last one for 1. Heels float down, taking it left. We have a turnout in our left leg and also a demi-plie. So I don't want the leg stick straight. That's gonna go into the knee and we don't want that. We wanna go in the muscle, right? So demi-plie, turn your right knee out. Make sure your heel doesn't point back behind you. Send the heel forward, hip bones face to the mat, and then you're gonna hinge forward. Maybe your chest can come in line with your hips. Maybe you need to stay a little higher, that's also okay. So we lift up, we squeeze, and pause. Good. Make your glute as hard as a point shoe. If you're a dancer, you can relate. Those point shoes are pretty evil. I don't know why they're not softer, but I guess we probably wouldn't have a good base to balance on if they were soft. But man, I remember when I was in point and crushed your toes. I always tried to put as many pads in there as I could, but you know what, it still hurt. Okay guys, remember 3/4 bend in the knee, standing knee, demi-plie, very small demi-plie. We're not too low into it. Our chest is pulling forward, our hips are drawing back. And then we're gonna take out the hover of the leg, or add in the hover of the leg. So if you can, and you're wanting to challenge that balance here today, don't rest your foot at the bottom. Do rest your leg at the top. That's where I want you to hang on to that glute work and squeeze your muscle. So think about the butt at the top. Lead with the top of the leg, top of the thigh lifting, not the foot, because if the foot leads, it'll look like that. And also, which I didn't mention on the other side, the shape of the leg is not changing. It is constant. Okay, give me 4 more. 4. Good, and slow it down. 3. Good, and 2 more. 2. Final 1. And 1. Oh my gosh, my standing leg that time was killer. Okay, we're gonna open it up to a wide second position. This exercise is to help us with our external rotation. So we're gonna drop down. The feet will not move. Your knees will press back in space. Neither will the pelvis move. So let's look at this from the side. So when I say the feet won't move, I don't want you to roll from the inside of the foot to the outside of the foot. Your foot is planted, the outside of the foot is down, your thigh bones press back. Now the pelvis is in a slight posterior tilt, so when I move my legs back and forth, it is not from my hips rocking. Okay, so tuck the pelvis, anchor the feet, sit down through those hips, and then press your thighs back in space and squeeze right here, okay? That is our abduction. Let's drop nice and low into it. We're here for 30 seconds, and we are coming into panchay. And nice, beautiful stretch. It looks kind of like a standing split. Okay, so you have 20 seconds of really hard work left. I need the mind-body connection. You can close your eyes, drop your hips as low as your knees, keep your chest upright, and feel the outside of your hips contract as your thighs press back. 15 right here, 15, 14. Heels and toes equally heavy. 12. Stay low, pull up through the heart. We have 9, 8, 7, a little slower, a little lower, 6. Sweat dropping down that back for 5, and 4, 3, and 2, and this is it, last one. And we stand up, squeeze your glutes. Okay, we're gonna rotate to the right, panchay. So like a standing split, your right foot is pointed. We're gonna hinge forward. We have a big rotation of the leg, everything we've been practicing. Bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders on the floor, and then lift up through your left leg. Now your left knee should point to the side wall. The hip should not open up too much. We're still pretty squared there. Now I want you to lift your top leg up from your glute, stretch up through your toes, and then send the weight of your hips back. Drop your head down. Big standing split. Hamstrings, glutes all releasing here. Take a breath in, and then release. Plant your foot, roll it up. Follow me over to the left. Left foot is planted. Right leg, big external rotation. Hinge those hips back. Yep, hands to the floor underneath the shoulders. And then that right leg's going to lift up. I'm dropping down through the crown of my head, pulling my shoulders up, and I'm reaching my back leg to the sky. There is a slight opening of the pelvis here. Use the strength of that glute that we fired to help you lift and straighten your leg more. If I wasn't using the strength of my leg and I was just lifting, it would look like this. Not as pretty, right? Straighten, firm thigh. Lift, use your outer hip. Shift your weight back into your heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release. Bend the knees. Roll it up. Amazing. Let's stretch out those feet. Okay, you're gonna come onto the top of your right foot. Press the top of the foot down into the mat. This stretches out the top of our foot, but at the same time, what you can see from the side will help increase our point, right? That kind of crescent moon shape in the foot. Okay, release. Come onto the top of the left foot. Gently push it down into the mat. Also, we don't usually use and stretch our feet enough. So this is a great workout to strengthen your feet. And if your feet are weak, everything runs up and down the chain, which means if your feet are weak, then your knees or your hips might be compensating. And that could be why you have maybe a knee or a hip issue. So, good thing to practice working out barefoot, balancing, feet stretches, and exercises that seem kind of simple, you know, like picking something up with your toes. That's a great one to get into the feet. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. Let's keep stretching. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Draw the knees together and then pull up through your center. This will hit the front of that thigh. Good, nicely done. Release. Let's take it over to the left. Left hand grabs the outside of the foot, pull the heel in, narrow the knees and pull up through your spine. Good, and release. Okay, let's get those hips. So your right foot stays on the floor. The left ankle is gonna come over the thigh and you're gonna externally rotate. Are we shocked? Then reach your hips back behind you, pull your chest forward and start to drop into it. If you have any balance problems here, just put your hands on a stool or maybe you're more flexible and you can touch the floor. Wow, that feels awesome. Okay, let's stand it on up and take it over to the other side. So we have the left foot planted. That right ankle comes over, then we turn the knee open, pull your hips back, Shift weight to your standing heel, then drop your butt down. Good, I want energy back through the hips and forward through the chest. And then if you're more flexible, you'll take it towards the ground. Stretching open that hip, amazing. Good, awesome. Okay, breathe out, release, shake those legs out. You guys just kicked some ballet booty. I hope your buns feel nice and tight. You feel some length, some strength, some connection with your body. My name is Lindsay Bushman. This is Pilates On Demand, where we do it all, a bunch of variety and exercise. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and please like, subscribe, and share to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next workout. Bye.